All right, welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Thursday. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me while I do Lego related things, building, designing, instructions, mocking, making my own stuff, what have you. So Lego related channel, spicy related Lego related channel, although not too adult oriented. We try to keep it kid friendly. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming by. So today we will be working on one of two or both of the Transformers BrickHead line. I've already got the instructions pulled up for this one, so we might as well start with this one. This will go very well with the current Lego Ideas sets of Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. I'll probably put these up right next to them. And I'll have to pull down my globe. I think it's time to retire the globe and maybe resell it to Bricks and Minifigs or whatever. But we'll see how that works out. So, hello, Missy. Hello, Never Too Old. Thanks for being here, you guys. Appreciate it. So, let me get the instructions here. I thought I had those up. 5.1. What is this? Maybe it's the other one. There we go. All right. So yeah, got Optimus and Bumblebee to start. I don't think we're going to have any problems getting through both of these tonight. They're very small sets. I do have other things I could work on. I did get this guy just recently. This is the Lego Insiders Point reward purchase. It is the Micro Command Center. It's got Space Babies in it. It's got a couple more Space Babies. I think one, maybe two. No, just one. But it's supposed to be a mock-up of. There's a classic space like rocket control center and the Futron monorail. So it's kind of like a combined version of that. So that's cool. And I had to buy this to actually get it. So we got some extra stuff. This would be real fun to build. Can't wait. And we still also have this. I may do a whole different stream for this one. Very excited about that. So if we run out of time, we can either work on something else or we can go into some designing. We'll see how it goes. Lumberjack, hello. How are you? Yeah, I got these. They were kind of in like I went to the store. Let's go ahead and start on this. I went to the store because I wanted to get that space GWP. So I was like, well, I need X amount of dollars, and to get the points for it. Jacked the camera up there. Oddly enough, a box this size has tape on it. Interesting. I don't know why. Some G1 art on the side there. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's why. They're like, maybe they want to keep the box because it's a nice box. So I went and got a handful of things, these two things. And at first I didn't see them and I was real bent out of shape because they had a little stand with all the BrickHeadz. And not the Optimus Prime or Bumblebee one. So it's kind of like, man, really? Oh, hey, these don't have... You can't register this as a set. That's interesting. I'll have to look at these instructions a little closer. But maybe it's the box. Maybe you register to get points from the box now. Because there's no QR code on the instructions to register your set. I wonder why. I'll hang on to these just in case. Yeah, so I mean this is it for both robot and truck. So the difference in this is that there are two different instructions, one for the robot and one for the truck. Wife and I need to check out the pad wall for Mills plate supplies. Yeah. I'm doing the Rebrickable Optimus Prime Bumblebee Prime now. Ooh, nice. Very cool. So everybody go check out Never Too Old's streams. Or they are doing a Rebrickable version of these guys. Need a different place to put these bags for now. Let's just put them over here. So how's everybody's week been? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing well. We've almost made it to the weekend. It is Friday Eve. Things are crazy right now, but I hope everybody's staying safe, staying sane, doing your part to help the world, whatever that may be. The Lighthouse windmill mock is coming along great. I've basically finished the house and I've redone the inside gearing for the windmill and the lighthouse. And now I'm working on the top of the lighthouse to do the railing, the safety railing around the top. And then after that, it'll be like landscaping around the base of it, which is not going to be hard. I might try, if I get most of that done, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, I might try to see if it travels well to our meeting on Sunday. We'll just have to see. I'm a little worried that I've built it up to a point where it won't travel very well, but it'll, you know, I've got to get it all the way to Houston. It's not like it's a 20-minute drive down the road. It's got to go 3 hours by car. So as long as the car ride's not too bad, but if I'm taking my bouncy little piece of crap car. Beverage of the evening, Shiner Bock, or Shiner Prickly Pear. It's not a Bock, it's a prickly pear. It is a beer brewed with prickly pear fruit, natural flavor added. It's from the Shiner Spätzle Brewing. This is one of my favorite Shiner variants. They usually have a pretty good case. Sometimes it's got like some random assortments, and like they have a blonde that's very good. They have a dark lager that's really good, but this one's always my favorite. Oh, tastes like summer. Used to be Ruby Red, but Ruby Red became a little heavy for me. This is a nice crisp kind of flavor, so. But yeah, the mock is coming on great. I'm not going to have to order the rigid hoses, I don't think, for the windmill. There's a one of our lug members has figured out that you can buy spools of basically like hosing or cabling from Home Depot, and you can cut them to whatever length you need to, and it's virtually the same size and shape and flexibility as the hoses, the Lego pieces. So I'm going to get a couple of those from him. So we got some printed tiles here for Optimus's. That's 3 1x2 tiles there for windshield and grill. Those would be good for other builds as well. You could use those for other. They are not specific to Optimus Prime, so those would be good for just about anything, honestly. Getting Mills plate supplies is like it. Doing Mills plate is deceptively a lot of parts. Like you don't think it's going to be that much. You're like, I got a plate. I'll just throw some 2x2 bricks on there, some 2x4s. I got some arches or some Technic bricks to throw around the edge. It'll be fine. And then before you know it, you're like, I'm out of 2x2 bricks. It's really weird. But that's a great time to use like your throwaway bricks where you know they're faded or they've got little nicks on them or something. You're like, this would be a perfect time to kind of not use you because you're going to be hidden. So the brains in Transformers apparently is green. For maybe like a computer circuit board is green. Or maybe it's this clear plastic up here. That's their spine. Maybe this is supposed to be their brain, this clear energon brain looking thing. So you think because it's a Hasbro box, you think they're boxed differently? That's why they're taped? More than meets the eye, authentic. Yeah. This is going to take all of like 5 minutes to do all of these things. So we may have to bust into something else tonight. I forget how quick these BrickHeadz go. No new Lego news that I'm aware of. Does anybody have any cool Lego news? I know there was a Beauty and the Beast castle that came out. Mario Day was Monday. The Mario Kart release. Mario Kart was announced. So that looks very cool. I don't think I'll get it, but if they had a Toad version, so I joked that I would have to get the instructions and source the parts and make a Toad version of it, because that's who I main in Mario Kart. And I have not played Mario Kart in a long time. And we would play on the Wii. So I haven't played on the GameCube in a very long time. New Jurassic sets, that's right. Including the giant T-Rex fossil. With Dr. Sattler and Dr. What's his name? Sam Neill. Dr. Sattler is Laura Dern and Sam Neill is... forget. Another printed tile. Nice. Again, this would be a good one. You could use that on any sort of truck front end with a couple grill plates next to it. So that's pretty cool. Got his faceplate here. Interesting eyes. These are, gotta get these on more square. He is a robot after all. He's a robot in disguise. Interesting eyes. They are 1x1 clear tiles, but with the eye shapes on them in white. So that's unique. I like that a lot. There we go. Oh wait, it needs another. So his forehead. And that's bag one. So that took all of 10 minutes. Alan Grant, thank you. Dr. Poop and Plants. Chris, hello Chris. How are you? Thank you for being here. Chris, a longtime friend from comic book days. Check out his channel, Comic Tropes. Fantastic deep dives into the history of comics, the artists, the writers, the creators, current news, current trends, current distribution levels, all good kinds of stuff. Encyclopedic brain about comic books. So appreciate you being here. Always a pleasure. Are you, and I'll bring this up to the whole chat, caught up on Invincible? Now, Invincible is a comic that I started reading. This is a BrickHeadz, so we're doing 2 BrickHeadz tonight. These are unique in that it comes with a brick head and a BrickHead car. It's almost like a microfighter style car. So we should be done with these really quickly. Hey Greg, how's it going? Nope. Wrong key. Music was a little loud in my ear, so I turned it down a little bit. Let me know how the music and audio and visual video and everything is. So Invincible, if you all aren't watching, you probably should be. It's on Amazon Prime, and yeah, so that just happened. The last few episodes have been Invincible, where that's right around the time that I stopped reading it. And this, I mean, Invincible comic goes back 20 years, something like that. I mean, it's an older comic book. And I find it funny because I was talking to somebody about this, and they're like, well, because we were talking about superhero tropes and types of, there's the classic superheroes, but then there's also like the Watchmen type thing where it's like darker, grittier. They're kind of internalizing everything. There's a lot of interpersonal thing. And then there's stories like, and then they went The Boys, which is like real life superheroes, like what it would be like to actually be a superhero and kind of like the world we live in. I'm like, yeah, they got that kind of from Invincible. And they're like, well, they kind of came out at the same time. I'm like, the shows did. Invincible came out about 10 years before The Boys did in comic verse. And it kind of is that same working with the government, kind of not working with the government, but this season's been really fantastic. I've enjoyed it a lot. Stephen Yuen is just crushing it in the vocal department, doing all the voices for all the different Mark versions was really great. And they didn't stray too far from the comic. They did make some choices, but it wasn't anything that really hampered the story. I think they did a pretty good job. What's up, Cliff? Thanks, Greg. I'm doing well. I'm excited. The Lighthouse mock is coming together really good. I'm excited to be done with it soon. I'm going to see if it can travel. I've been hooking up all the batteries and stuff to it to make sure see how far or how long it runs. I've had to hook up the worst part's been this little iPhone that I've got doesn't stay charged, and it sucks the battery out of the mobile battery. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to run it. I'm going to have it plugged in somewhere to keep it on. Yeah. I saw Tech Jacket, and it was so funny because I just saw EJ post something on Blue Sky about Tech Jacket. And he's like, yeah, this is from like 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And he was like, somebody challenged me to post an old Tech Jacket thing. And I was like, God, I remember that. And then literally the next day I'm watching the episode, and there's a scene where there's just Tech Jacket fighting an Invincible variant. I'm like, was that Tech Jacket? It was really, really funny. I forgot about Capes too. Capes was kind of the same sort of superheroes that are paid and have to do certain things. And that was a fun time in comics. I have a coworker who's like, I think I'm going to get back into comics. I'm like, I wish you the best. Vaya con Dios. It's like, I already spend my money on Lego. I don't need to drop my $50 a week on my hold slot hobby. If I get to a point where I don't need Lego anymore, like I'm done building and I don't need more pieces, I may get back into it. But there's also like, do I want to also get back into drawing and stuff? So we'll see. Yeah, it was fun. Thinking about getting Lord of the Rings trilogy extended. Cool. In the ever lengthening search that you have for physical media, I appreciate it. Sheepdog, hello. How are you? Thanks for being here. Coming off Blue Sky. Thanks for stopping by. How are you this evening? So I will say, speaking of comics and artistic endeavors, I have started writing a book. I don't know how far I'll get, but I was sitting there and I was like, I have this story idea plotted out, and I've sketched out characters for it, and I've made a map of it, and like I've done a whole outline and a whole like plot points along the way and points that they got to hit the whole time. And I was like, why don't I just write it? So we'll see how it goes. It's an exercise in if I can do it, and we'll see. No, just a straight up book. So I had an idea for. It's pretty late here, but I thought I'd stop by. Well, I appreciate you being here. Pretty late, as in like 2 a.m. Are you in Australia or Europe or something? I guess Australia would be like 4 a.m. No, I'm a big fan of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was going through sort of I have this idea in my head to do, or what the third part of the game would be. And so I started kind of writing it out as like a fan fiction, world building kind of thing. And the more I got into it, the more excited I got about it. And I was like, why didn't I write this as like a 2.5? I won't make it like the obvious things that the character is going to do in the third game, but maybe I'll make it like an offshoot, like a DLC, but just in prose, you know. And there's a lot of, in Scotland, that's right. 1:23 a.m. That's crazy. The wife will not. Put me on in the background. I'll talk everybody to sleep. It's all good. But we'll see how it goes. Writing a video game that involves massive amounts of inventory and weaponry is going to be hard to write around. So I'm trying, I haven't really come across it yet. I did 1 or 2 scenes so far where she has to fight and override a pretty low end machine, a Strider or a Charger. I forget what I wrote. But I kept it pretty basic, right? There's not going to be a lot of the video game components of hitting a supply chest and getting berries to heal you or taking a potion. She's going to be limited to what she can carry. It's not going to come up as much. When she's hurt, she's hurt. And when she's hurt, she has to find somewhere to get better. But I've got a whole path laid out. I've got whole settlements along the way where she can talk to people and discover new machines and new parts of this world. And I've, got it wrapping back up with the main story. But her going through sort of a psychological journey to kind of discover a few things about herself. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, I just want to see if I can do it. So yeah. I've got about 6 chapters done. I started like a week or so ago. Just, the flood of new thing. And then I had to stop and be like, all right, I have to get the index cards. I have to plot everything out, make sure I hit all the points I want to hit. And I'm not forgetting things. I'm going to have to constantly go back and reread stuff. So once I get it a little more farther along, maybe I'll get some test readers or something. Really live, says my dad. Hi, Dad. Yes, really live. I could hold up a newspaper that says today is March 13th and it is 8:25 p.m. Central Daylight Saving Time, not Central Mountain Time. So you're just going to have to deal with it. So we got Optimus here. Oh, there goes the dog for whatever reason. All right, so Optimus done. Took about 20 minutes. Probably rip through the rest of these pretty quick. Again, printed tiles on the front there. On that headpiece and then the chest. And the arm pieces have got little Autobot symbols on them. That's pretty cool. Autobot. Little Autobot. Stick him over here. So next is going to be Got It Live. We're going to do it live. The next will be version 2, or the truck version. And we're going to zoom in a little bit to fill up the screen there. What is my favorite boss in the Horizon series? So there's not really bosses, but there are definitely larger machines. There's only a handful of times when you will fight other humans that are a serious threat. In Zero Dawn, there's I forget what the dude's name is, but he's part of the Sun cult. He's probably the Sun, the Shadow Karja cult, the Eclipse. The name's on the tip of my tongue, but he shows up kind of like at the attack of Meridian, and you have to fight him, and he's pretty strong. And then there's like handfuls of bandits at bandit locations and things like that are harder. There's in Forbidden West, you fight Zeniths. So there's one guy named Eric something, Vessler or something. And the Zeniths are humans that have gone into space and come back, and they're augmented, and they have shields and the whole craziness. And he's very hard, but you're not supposed to beat him. You're just supposed to get get it to the point where you can collapse the floor and get away, right? You're not supposed to beat him. I will say, I think the hardest person to fight, human to human, is anybody in any of the melee pits, because you're trying to learn certain ways to fight melee style with just your spear, and the controls are not very good. That's the one downfall I have of this game, is the melee pit stuff I just skip, because the timing is almost impossible. Even if you have it on like a super low setting, you get hit 2 or 3 times by the guy in the melee pit he's like a trainer kind of thing, and you get to 3 or 4 of these across the landscape in every settlement, and if you beat all of them, then you've got a thing that you can give this guy at the end to fight and get a thing, so you're trying to accrue bits. But the melee pits are just so stupid hard. It's not even fun. It's just frustrating. In terms of machines, my favorite one to fight is probably Thunderjaws, because they're big and nasty, but they're super easy. You hit them with like an acid or freeze them, and then they get brittle or decayed metal, and then you knock the disc launchers off the side, and then you hit them a bunch of times with their own weapon, and you brought them down. Plus, they're so big that you can literally kind of run away from them and still be able to hit them. Yeah, now they are. Lego sets all have instructions online. They do give you paper instructions still. There was a huge thing a while back where they just kind of put out a survey saying, how do you access the instructions? And everybody took it to be, they're getting rid of the paper instructions. And Lego was like, no, we were just seeing what people used, You can take our I don't think I've used paper instructions in a real long time. Mostly because I'm building on stream. If I build by myself, I'll use paper instructions, because I'll be sitting in front of the TV usually. So, what's up, Johnny? How's it going? Yeah, and you can have it on your phone. It's just a PDF. Just open it on your phone or tablet or something. I know a lot of people will have a tablet up on the side to look at the instructions. I just like having it up here for everybody to see, so they can kind of follow along with what's being built. Yes, the paper bag thing. New this year sets should all have paper bags. I got 2 floral sets, botanical sets. The bamboo and what was the other one? the mini orchid, and one of those had paper bags and the other had plastic. So I think starting this year, they're going to be more and more paper, but they've been saying they're going to have paper ones for a long time now, and they're just now kind of getting to it. Yeah, you got this, BrickHeadz. You got it. I got 2 sets to build. It's definitely going to do that this next time. Cool. Yeah, like I said, I've got a handful of sets here that I can build next, but I think I'm still going to try to do more design streams. I've resigned myself to the fact that I also want to get more instructions done, especially Zero Dawn instructions. And I'm going to try to do more speed builds with microfighters, because I'd like to get some more of those done and do instructions for those microfighters. Put them all up on Rebrickable. Don't need that yet. almost at 1K. You know what happens at 1K, you guys? When the channel gets 1,000 subscribers? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think maybe the algorithm will show it to more people or something, but yeah, nothing happens. Hey. Oh no. Well, that piece is gone forever. But it was a 1x1, so I know I'm going to have extra. Again, I've got to get a lip here or something. Tends to happen. I'm going to get my, I'm going to go search under my computer, and there's going to be all these little pieces that have rolled off the desk. I think it's 750 now is all you need, but still need watch hours. Yeah, I don't like, I'm not a big who cares kind of thing about it. I kind of would do this regardless, so y'all know that. I was listening to Cliff and Brickable Cow's podcast today, and they were talking a little bit about that. TMZ fame, they called it, where they don't want it. They don't want, you know, to not be able to walk around a convention without being swamped. Like that's not where I want to be. And I kind of agree. I don't want to have to make my channel about servicing some algorithm or something. This is a perfect amount of people. Like everybody who's in here are people that I know and like for the most part. Good night, Sheepdog. Thank you for being here. I do have streams on Sundays at 10 a.m. so that'll be more in your wheelhouse. It'll be mid-afternoon then. I would highly recommend stopping by then so you won't be dead tired. Use your actual lips. For what? Am I not speaking through my lips? Is something wrong? I feel like we got a weird chat out of Chris that maybe was supposed to go to somebody else. Yeah, Johnny and I are in the same boat. We do the same thing pretty much. Except Johnny occasionally makes videos about stuff, and I just don't have the bandwidth for it. Like this is fine, you know, live streaming a build, and then maybe occasionally I will do a update video and be like, okay, here's where this thing is, but just not my bag. I would maybe do some more shorts, showing some of the microfighters getting built, but that's kind of it. Oh, use my actual lips. I see. Yeah, just whoops. I think if I were to react as fast as the piece coming down and try to get my mouth down there, two things would happen. This belly gets in the way, so I'd probably puncture my own sternum somehow. But then I'd probably give myself a concussion, smacking my head down on the table. Which, let's be honest, wouldn't that be a stream and a half? Just sitting there watching something, and then somebody just smashes their head on the table, falls over unconscious, and then that's the stream. It just runs in the background with nothing but music playing. I would pay money to see that. Not for it to happen to me, mind you, but it'd totally get views. You want to bump that up to a couple thousand. You know what works for me? Smashing my head on the table. That seems to work. Speaking of Invincible, ooh, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but speaking of smashing heads on tables, that show is brutal. I do like that the jackass of Lego. watch me whip this webcam around by its cable until it hits something. Who was that guy? It wasn't Keith. It wasn't Sam Keith. It was it Sam Keith? No. The Pit, the comic book that came out like once every 6 months. Oh, who the heck was that guy? Greg. You make me look it up. Pitt. It was Sam Keith. Oh no, Dale Keown. Yeah, that's it. He got drunk on stream and passed out. That's hilarious. I want to go look it up now. Got some more printed tiles there. Need to do more time lapse and reviews for sure. I keep saying that. Yeah, it does. Even setting up to do, I say this is a problem. Setting up to do a microfighter speed build, it only takes like 15 minutes. And sometimes I would do it before work. Like I'd wake up and get ready and then do it real quick. So I can't really complain. The part that takes the longest is taking it apart in reverse order. So if I don't have instructions, I have to remember how I took it apart. So that's why I need to start doing more instructions, so I can have them to do more time lapses. Drunk and passed out on stream. Yeah, these are good tiles and they're non-specific. Like they're obviously Optimus Prime in this case, but like they can be used for a lot of other vehicles, you know? Hello. Hi. A wild Beth appears.
So tired.
Yeah?
But I have a phone call at 11:30 and then I don't have to be until 3. So
Nice.
I'm going to probably work out tomorrow.
Okay. Works for me. Yeah, I realized I said I'd work out with you tonight, and then I was like, crap, I have a stream till...
It's not happening.
It's not happening. Can you do a speed run on Bumblebee? I mean, I'm going as fast as I think I can right now, without completely ignoring everybody. I mean, this has only taken me 40 minutes to do 2 of these. So...
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Are you okay with Kava on Saturday?
Kava? Have we been to Kava?
I don't think so. It's so initially was like, what about Chipotle? And Matt and I were like, no. And then she said, what about Kava? It's like a Mediterranean Chipotle. And Matt was like, you should just send us a treat. But it's like
I think I've been there.
You pick what you want on it. It looks good.
Yeah, that works. I mean, are there adult beverages or are we just going to eat? Oh, that's boring.
I don't know. I don't drink. I don't think Matt drinks.
What's the point of a coworker gathering outside of work if there's no adult beverages? Oh, is that it? Okay. Well, they're not my coworkers, so I guess I can't. They're not my coworkers, so I guess I can't say anything. Cool, cool, cool. We got little wheels. It's usually a sign that the build is almost done because you have wheels. I may do a video, speaking of videos, once the mock is done, the lighthouse windmill steampunk mock, it's virtually done as we speak. So structurally it's pretty much done. So I might do one of those coming up soon. Yeah, I don't know, man. That'd be kind of rad to get. Or at least maybe not the walls, but the online pick-a-brick, maybe. Okay, where do you want to go? There? Yeah. All right. So there we got your truck and your robot. Now they don't change. When I first saw this, I was like, my goodness, they got really good at this. If they're making these guys into things that can change, that would have been great. So here we go. We got Optimus here. We'll put Optimus here. Nobody puts Optimus in the corner. So now we're on to Bumblebee. That took, I'm going to say about 38 minutes because the first 5 minutes was me yapping. I wouldn't mind getting these eyes either. Those are good reflective pieces for other things. Now the Bumblebee car looks a little more like the Bumblebee car, and there's some artwork, some G1 artwork. It's not our friend EJ's artwork, but you know, very few things are. I wonder if there's no instructions to register these because they are Hasbro. Because these technically aren't ideas. They're BrickHeadz, which is its own trademark. It's just weird. It's just weird, I tell ya. All right, so now I gotta go back. I'm gonna do, what number is this? 40804. Nope. So you can get this. You can get the instructions off Lego.com. You can also go to this site that I'm on called BrickSet, which I like a lot. I like the way they handle their instructions better. Their site also isn't as clunky as Lego.com. Lego's site is fine, but I find that it's not very responsive, and it takes a long time to load stuff. So I like this one better. I like this set better. Okie doke. I don't null parts generally. Just kind of go for it. But I'm also not a sociopath and dump all the bricks, all the bags out at once. That's just crazy. Okay, we're back to the kind of green with the pink brain thing, which I think is cool. Energon brain. So let's see. Invincible. I need to catch up on common side effects. I really liked the first few episodes of that show, and I just need to get back into it. before they figure out that it's too good to be on TV and they take it off. Trying to think of other. I still haven't seen Captain America yet. I think because Beth initially said she'd like to see it, but she works until 8 o'clock every night, and then on the weekends she sometimes work or just sleeps. So it's kind of hard to figure that out. I might just sneak off and do it at lunchtime. Or one night when she's working to be like, hey, I really want to see this before it gets out of theaters. There's another printed tile for you. Autobot. So his windshield doesn't look as cool. It's a little just colored bricks by the looks of it. That's fine. Optimus out here more. I think the big thing that's coming up is Andor. I know that's coming up soon. I know people are the trailer for it just dropped a few days ago. I know everyone is very excited about that. We got a trailer for Lilo and Stitch, which looked pretty cute actually. Of all the live action Disney things, that one looks the most appealing to me. I saw a great comment where they said this looks amazing and it'll make a ton of money, which will make up for all the money that the Snow White movie will not make. And I have to agree, the Snow White movie looks tragic. So what I need is 2 hours of Uncanny Valley dwarves. All right, bag 2. We just got a thing from the LAN today. Speaking of bricks and pieces and pick-a-brick walls, I like how bricks and pieces and pick-a-brick are both PAB. So you can say PAB wall or PAB online, and it's kind of the same thing, but not really the same thing. The standard part ordering is back. So there was the best-selling parts that were available from the beginning of the year, but the standard parts weren't, and now the standard parts are back. Right? Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. Especially in the live action. I 100% agree. I mean, if we're talking about sheer aesthetics. But I mean, if we're talking about, you know, quality of character, I get you. I get that. Yeah, so standard pick-a-brick or bricks and pieces ordering is back. If you've been waiting for that, it is now available. Just FYI, that's a good way to get this comparison. So this snot brick and then these. If you don't want to do like that plate that goes, that's like a modified plate that has those two bits under it, that's a good way to get that same shape there. So keep that in mind while you're this plate, this right here. Usually they'll stick one of those under it to get the same effect, but that's in the way now. So good, good tip on building. The other thing I don't like about the online instructions, especially for sets this size, is this is the step you get. You get like it's not like you can get like 4 or 5 steps on a page. So it's like you're constantly scrolling just to get to the next step. You build one thing, scroll, build another thing, scroll. My Transformer buddy's favorite piece, the curved, smaller snot. Yep. Yeah, and that's a again, that's a Speed Champion part that was made popular by all those cars. A lot of these cool parts that are coming out are thanks to Speed Champions. And now they're using it for all kinds of like snot building, and it's really cool. Hey, Beth. All right, sorry, I had to shout, make sure Beth heard me. We have to give our cat medicine. He has liver problems. He went to the vet, and he's an old man cat. And they said, well, we did some blood work, and we looked for 3 numbers for his liver function, and one of those numbers was concerning. It wasn't very high, but it was concerning. So we need to get him on some medicine and see if that helps now. And they're like, now he may have just been stressed from coming in here. And this is after he threw up on the way to the vet. I'm like, you think he was stressed? So the number may go down the next time we do blood work. So in a month, I got to do more blood work on my cat. But they're like, let's give him some medicine to make sure that it's not that he's not stressed out, that it's, you know, like, okay, sounds good. But if anybody with cats knows, you cannot easily pill a cat. They do not like it when you hold on to them. They do not like having stuff shoved in the back of their throat. They do not care for your shenanigans at all. So we have to hold him. I hold on to him and just kind of hold him as tight as I can. And then Beth gets in there and just goes pop, takes a little pill popper and puts it in the back of his throat. And then we gotta like hold his mouth shut like we're the scene in Arrested Development where he like Job like puts what is it, formaldehyde, is that what it is, on the rag, or puts a pill in Michael's mouth. How does he drug Michael? Does he put a rag over his face? How does Job drug Michael? Was it with a formaldehyde rag? Oh, he roofies him. And then while he's like freaking out about it, he's just kind of laying down going, just let it happen, Michael. Shh, just let it happen. So we kind of do that with the cat because he gets all stressed out. We're like, just let it happen, this gig. A lot of tiles on the pab. I wish that would translate to a lot of tiles on our local Pick-a-Brick, but our local Pick-a-Brick is like, it's not even really good for a local Pick-a-Brick. It's not the best in the world. We have friends going to the one in Florida, and that one's like twice as many pieces. But it always seems to be like whatever build they're doing, they're, you know, let's have these pieces along with it. It's like, yeah, but nobody really liked those builds. I don't know. I do like the Brick Assist app where you can, or website where you can kind of see what's around at different locations if you can get to different locations. Some good shaping and some good part work in here. I'm liking this. Little horns on his head. That's kind of great. Got another tile coming up here, this guy. I don't know that this guy would be as much use on a regular car, but maybe if you were doing a spaceship, that would be a good venting piece. But also, as I'm looking at it, if you have a school and you need lockers, if they were all yellow lockers, those look like the vents on fronts of lockers. Got a person in our lug who's doing a build, or has done a build of Degrassi. Actually worked on a little on the stream doing the digital version of it for him. And they have lots of printed tiles for lockers. It was pretty cool. I was gonna say, I thought there's an odd amount of parts left for us to be working on his legs, but it all works out. His cute little adorable feet here with the little wheels on them. It's pretty adorable. All right, speed run Bumblebee. That's as fast as I could do it. What was that? 15 minutes. So, adorable little feet. Those little tires there. Printed tile in the front for his head and printed Autobot symbol there, as well as the eyes. Yeah? Where's what medicine? Up near the butter. Sorry. Yeah, I meant to tell you about that. I just thought it'd be a better place to store it. All right, so there you go. I'll see if I can beat you next week. Oh, time-wise, I got you, yeah. Well, now we're on to the second part. Yeah, you have a timer, too. Like, you know. I'm, like, making educated guesses. I'm like, sure, why not? Red flag fire warning. Goodness. We've had a red flag fire warning for like 2 weeks. It's dry and windy and hot. I know that in different parts of the country it's still March, which means it's still snowy and cold in some locations. Not here, man. Apparently it's fire warning because it's 85 degrees. Yeah, we got like the burn bans and stuff like that. Which is fine. I don't, it's too warm to have a fire outside. It's like, don't worry about me. I will not be setting fires again until November. I wish all we had last week was rain. We did have some rain, but not a ton. Dang it. All right. For those who don't know the magic of the dual separators, let's say you get a piece like this, and it's hard to take apart. You get your two separators, put one on either side like that, and then you squeeze, You can't really tell, but it opens what should. It opens them up a crack so that you can wedge something in there. Works better on 2x2 plates, but it still works either way. What's up? These released like this year. When did these come out? First of this month? Yeah, I think they've been out for a month or a couple weeks. Can't remember if they were first of the year or March 1st or mid-February or something. Thanks for coming by, man. Good to see you. I feel like I haven't talked to you in several hours at least. You may want to make sure that they're at the store though. They were in a different bin when I got there, and I don't know if it's because they felt that they were gonna sell out really quick. But yeah, I don't think they've sold out online yet. They're pretty rad. And they're going to go great with the... oh, look at this part. That's definitely a cute print. And it's on a really not very common slope. So these like... they're technically like a 4x2 slope, not a 2x4 slope. Because of how they lay down and they're curved. That's a great print on a... kind of unusual part. I like it. Beginning of March. Okay, so just a couple weeks. Where you been, George? I thought I was the last to know about Lego stuff. I usually feel like I am. Like, man, I haven't heard any news about Star Trek and Lego in the last couple. And everyone's like, man, where you been? All right, sorry. Yeah, so they're not changeable. They come with two of them. So these are a little more expensive than your normal BrickHeadz, because normal BrickHeadz are like $8. These were like, or no, like $12, and these were like 20 something, 20-ish, because you're getting 200 pieces, 200 to almost 300 pieces. So these are like $20. That is going to be cute. Well, you should be on my Discord. I try to post as much news about Lego as I can. Or our Lug Discord has news too. Yeah? Are you a big Transformers or a big BrickHeadz fan? Oh, I did not see that. The Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Oh, whoops. This goes on the wrong way. That doesn't look... Okay. That's better. I did not realize I didn't realize that they were going to like really go hard on getting back into Lord of the Rings stuff. I mean, I know they did Rivendell and Barad-dûr, but what? Okay, I'm confusing myself here. I didn't realize they were doing so much with it. Transformers. So I'm guessing are you a G1 person? I don't know anybody who's not a G1 person. But like I don't know anybody who's like, no man, Armada is where it's at. Like I never heard anybody say that. Tailpipes in the back is super adorable. The G1 toys, I think, are the best. But man, that cartoon is hard to watch. Back when it was just supposed to be a toy commercial and they didn't care about consistency or quality. Just as a kid, you don't care. You're just like, look, they're blowing stuff up. They're great robots. And as an adult, you're like, where's the motivation? Where's the... Not even that. Just like, ugh. The quality is just not there. And there were good quality cartoons in the 80s. Dungeons and Dragons was quality. But yeah, most of them were toy commercials. I love getting the videos on TikTok where it's like the top 10 cartoons from the 80s that everyone forgets about. And like number 1 is Mask. And you're like, nobody forgot about Mask. And at the same time, I'm like, of course nobody forgot about Mask. And then I was like, I am also not the target audience for this. I haven't forgot about any of those. My son was doing an interview with me for a college project. He has to do an oral history of somebody's. And so he picked, they're like, you can pick like a influential figure, you can a politician or somebody local or a family member, but just to kind of get to know their history and everything. And he was like, well, I don't really know my dad's history too much, so I'm going to talk to him. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know my history? Again, with this great print. Look at that. On another weird little... This is Hasbro money is what this is. Getting these prints on odd pieces like that, that's Hasbro kicking in a little bit. They're like, we'll lower our license fees if you can print some of these unique pieces. So the questions Greg asks are very much, what kind of kid were you? Did you get to have a good relationship with your parents? What's something that, you remember from college, blah, blah, blah. Like went through the ages, went through childhood and adolescence and college, young adult. He's like, so what was your favorite cartoon in when you were a kid? I'm like, we will need another hour and a half to talk about my favorite cartoons as a kid. Yeah, man, that'll be interesting. That's another big thing that happened was Mattel went, hey, welcome to Brick Life or whatever it is. I don't know what they have the rights to, so I mean, I don't know. Your door, your fenders. A lot of good pieces in here too. These kind of bent. They're not even round plates. They're like rounded corner plates. All right, let's take a look at that. Sure, I want to leave YouTube. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do that. Yes, go. I hate how I have to hit return. There's no go arrow or whatever. No, come on. I don't want to. I'm worried it's going to take me out of the chat. No, I don't want to sign up for emails. Well, I don't know what any of this is. I mean, it's just a brick. It's just their webpage. I'll have to go look at that later. It just looked like sign up for news about stuff. I'll take a. Why don't we take a look after we're done building? Now that I got to chat in two different places. That and that. I have to do that on the other side too. Oh, you mean, okay, I was looking at two different conversations. Yes, they're all printed pieces. All printed on Optimus, all printed on this. I think the sets are just kind of like, it's kind of a style for BrickHeadz not to have stickers, I think. Like, I don't remember stickers ever showing up in BrickHeadz. Yeah, they've already got the landing spot. They've been pushing out like social media stuff for it too, and it's kind of like, wow, okay. I am interested to see what kind of, because when I think of Mattel, I think Hot Wheels and I think Barbie, and that's kind of it. I don't know what other, but I mean, even if they did Barbie, that would pretty much ruin the Friends line. Buildable Barbie sets. Do this a bunch of times. Do you ever get, so I'm a little older. Do you guys get excited about breakfast the next day? Like, do you sit there and go, man, I can't wait till tomorrow? So tomorrow I was going to go get some donuts for my coworkers, and they haven't had sour cream donuts, old-fashioned donuts. A couple of them haven't. And I was like, what? Man, we got to get some of them. So on my way to work tomorrow, I'm going to stop and get some old-fashioned donuts. Sour cream donuts. Hopefully it's not just they made them to look like old-fashions. I have to find the right place. I don't know that my local donut shop does them right, but I'll have to see. The Mega Cybertruck looks interesting. Oh, that reminds me. I have to go. Maybe I'll do that after work tomorrow. I have to go to the Lego store and get a present for one of our friends. Their bebe is 2 years old. I know people with 2-year-old children. I like that this piece is light enough to get extra. It's not a 1x1. It's just light enough to get extra of it. So this is all extra. And we are done. We got 45 minutes left. What are we gonna do? Well, first thing we're gonna do is look at what things Mattel has the rights to. But first things first, how adorable. How freaking adorable. That's just cute. I wish they would have put something on his arms right here. A little tile or like a yellow ingot would have worked really well there. But I get it. They don't want to make their arms too bulgy. So there's your bumblebees to go with your Optimuses. Optimus Primes. So there we go. There's your BrickHeadz. Give me a second to figure out what I want to do next. Oh, also, I got this guy. We can build this at some point. So that's my official backlog. Somebody on TikTok gave me guff about not having a backlog. And I realized that I actually have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have about 9 sets that I could build. The rest of, I've got like another 20 boxes of stuff sitting over here. but they're all like GWPs that I don't want to open. Or as a lug ambassador, I get the last couple of years we got an employee gift, and I don't want to open those. And then I've got like some random like 12-in-1s and some other stuff that I don't even really want to open them. I kind of keep them on hand in case like little kids come over and are bored with all the adult partying going on. And so I was like, yeah, I'll keep them around in case a little kid wants to play. What's up, Mayo? And Dusty Bricks, hi. Making a world clock for OBS. Nice. Cybertruck is over 3,000 pieces. I think somebody, didn't Josh Builds get the Cybertruck from Mega Bloks? Let's see your brick built avatar. My brick built avatar. What is that? I don't have any avatar anything. Make this bigger, and we're gonna look at design. Mattel. Zissou. I got a bunch of people right at once. How are y'all doing tonight? Good to see you. My logo behind me. This guy? It's not brick built. It's a patch. If you guys like patches, Odd Colored Sheep, Cheryl and Claire's patch company. They also made a knit hat for me with this on it. It's just a patch. Luffy. That's what it's called in 1930s Texas. Crude oil. All right, so real quick, I'm looking up Mattel owned properties because I want to see what this brick whatever is going to make out of bricks. So what is it? Mattel Lego, because I don't know what else to call it. It's called Mattel Brick Shop. So if those who didn't know, Mattel is getting into the Lego business with Mattel Brick Shop. It already has a shop on here. Okay, well, these are just play sets. Okay, so this isn't the brick shop yet. They've got nothing on here yet. So if you want to sign up to be the first to know about it, it's going to have the little logos on it, say Mattel. So yeah, but what I wanted to know is Hot Wheels He-Man. Oh my goodness. Well, He-Man's going to be huge. Well, that's if they own Masters of the Universe. Polly Pocket. Well, these are all old ones. Fisher Price. So these are all on Roblox. I guess Roblox is, and that's another thing. They have Roblox. They can feed into that. I didn't think they owned Minecraft. I think Minecraft owns its own thing, but blah blah blah. As far as I know, it's like mostly been okay. So Thomas, that's a program. That's Warner Music. They tried getting into NFTs. That's kind of hilarious. Wow. Okay. Well, I literally don't know what they're gonna do other than maybe Barbie and a bunch of cars. American Girl, maybe. Huh. Interesting. Well, Minecraft. Yeah. I mean, I guess Lego can sell Minecraft stuff. That doesn't mean they sold out, but if they did, I don't know who they sold out to. Television syndicated unit distribute Captain Power and the Soldiers of Future. That's old. They might try to cross in with any of their properties here. I think their biggest one's going to be like Barbie and He-Man. Unless they start trying to go after other properties, you know. Interesting. So I may sign up. To get information about that, but that's about as much as we know. Fisher Price, Barbie, and Hot Wheels. Oh, all brands. Here we go. Jurassic World. There's got to be a thing where it's like, no, you can't do that because Lego's doing it. I think American Girl might be something that they do. Wrestling. Oh, if they do WWE, WWW. Monster High might be a big one. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff in here that would be pretty good if they were just doing IP related things. But my guess is they're gonna probably try to. They probably are going to try to have their own themes within their brick building entity, so they don't have to worry about licensing right off the bat. Although, like, Creo went with Transformers, and what was it? Mega Bloks went with Halo. So they're probably going to try to get something IP related going. I got a brick shop ambassador. Conflict of interest, really. But I was just talking to Beth today. After I was talking to George, too, who's in the chat somewhere. But I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I get so little responses from emails from our group and in Discord that I'm like, I don't even know, like, what I'm doing in the group hardly anymore. It's like, I might, and I told Beth, I was like, I should just quit. Let somebody else do it. Nobody else wants to do it right now. So it's just a matter of like figuring out the group and everything. I've only been at it a couple years. Yes, they are doing Jurassic World stuff, but it's whoever they license it to. Like, I could see you know, because I mean, you can have Jurassic World cars. Mattel could do Jurassic World Hot Wheels cars, while Lego does Jurassic World brand constructible brick toys. But I don't see them going, okay, well, we can also do Jurassic World constructible brick toys. I just don't see that being part of their IP agreement. So it would have to be stuff that's not already being done as a constructible brick toy. So we only got about a half hour left. Since I don't want to really break into a new set tonight, I'm gonna open up a studio for a little bit, if that's okay with y'all. Don't think I need that anymore. I might need to do an update on studio. I just kind of want to go over real quick, like what I may need to do for upcoming streams. What needs to be worked on. I know I've got some construction. I hit a key. What key did I hit? There's a sticker key. I forgot what key that was. And now I can't make that go away. Where's my view? View. Source toolbar. Docs, that's what I want. How come I don't have scenes? That's my scenes. Where's my docs for my sources? Edit source. Prism sticker. Oh, is that where it went? Did I move it down there? Go away, prism sticker. That was weird. Okay, so there are several things that I'm working on, and I was going to make a post on this about this on YouTube, but the problem that I'm running into lately is that, and I was talking to a lug member about this today. We were talking about, we had a phone call this afternoon about doing stuff with the lug and buying sets to exchange for other sets to get smaller sets to give to kids. I was talking to him about a commission that we got approached to do as a group, and how I couldn't get anybody in the group to like take it on. Usually these emails will come to me, and then I will say, sure, I'll talk to my group about it. And if nobody bites, then I'll be like, all right, I guess I'll do it. Which I feel bad because I feel like I'm always doing these ones that people come talk to us about. The other thing is that I usually try to talk them out of asking us to do it. For several reasons. One, they want it really fast, right? That's what it is. I screwed up my mixer. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I was wondering where that went. They want it really fast. They want it under budget, and they think that we already have all the bricks. So they want it in 2 weeks. They want a custom design, and I have to say, okay, look, we have to design it first. That could take a week. And then after that, it's going to take a week to get the parts. Now, I'm not ordering the parts because they're not going to be mine when we're done with this. So you have to order them, which means you got to pay me for them. Once the design is done, I can tell you how much those parts are going to be. Once you agree on the design, then I can either make instructions for you and have everything sent to you and you can do it, or I can build it and bring it to you. I'm trying to give you options, but here's the basics. And so this latest one it's about 6 weeks out. It's the first of, it's now the end of April. So it's coming up, but I mean, we've got some time. Yeah, well, my problem was I had a docked section that was hovering over another section, and I couldn't tell because it lined up perfectly with the other one. And I was like, where did it go? You know? Anyway, it got me thinking that I would be okay doing this, but I don't have the bandwidth to do it. And I thought, well, why don't I have the bandwidth to do it? All I'm doing is a mock for Brick Rodeo, which is nearly done. And I'm doing my own stuff. I'm doing microfighters. I'm doing builds. I'm doing sets, and I'm doing Horizon Zero Dawn stuff. And then I was like, oh, and then I've got the Q2 Stadium. Oh, and then I've got the Subway sandwich, or the Thundercloud sandwich I didn't finish. Oh, and then I've got, it just starts adding up. I was like, I really don't have time to do that. And there's another project I can't talk about until it's all done. But so I might try to I'm going to see if I can push it a little bit till the meeting, and then see if I can talk to people at the meeting. Maybe people just aren't going to read their email or look at Discord, and they'll come to the meeting and be like, oh yeah, I could do that. And I'll be like, all right, cool. It's yours. Yeah, got all the time in the world. So this is what I was talking about at the top of the stream, where I'm going to try to go through and finish some of the projects that I've got going, or at least work on them specifically and not worry so much about like sorting. Well, sorting I can do regardless, but like building all the sets that I've got, I can keep a backlog for a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. The Horizon Zero Dawn advent calendar is not going anywhere. I'm not going to get it done by the time next series comes out, especially if I'm going to be designing minifigures and a box cover and things like that. So I'm not too worried about that. But that does mean that I could go through and maybe do some instructions for some of the like, I don't even know how many I don't have any instructions. That can't be right. For any of these beasties. I thought I had instructions for at least stone needle. Oh, these are all the other projects that I have. Stone needle. These can be deleted. I don't need these. Stone needle was a I was trying to do a Star Wars mock that ended up not working. But it was based off the radio drama where Luke flies his T-16 through the Stone Needle in Beggar's Canyon. And the scene goes, he clipped one of his wings and he had to like crash land it. So I was going to build this big orange rock face desert scape with a big like stone outcropping that looks like the head of a needle, and have a crashed T6 fly through with like smoke and sparks trailing off of it. So I think I had, I don't know how far I got into that. Well, that far. That's disappointing. I think I did a small version. So something like this, but like a bigger version. And using the set, the T16 set. I probably could do it now that I've got a bunch of orange brick. At the time, I didn't have a bunch of orange brick. Don't think I did a bigger one. Maybe I did. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so this is the ship. And I actually had a lot of this built in real life. So I had to go in here, rebuild the ship. And then it was basically like, okay, what parts can I use to make a landscape? And as we all know, all you need to do is get 1x2, 2x2, and 2x4 bricks in there and just like throw them around. Nobody really throws a lot of slopes and stuff in there unless they're like seriously doing rock work. And I was not going to do that, but so anyway. All right. So let's look at, not that. The horizon. Because this is something I can do not on stream. Is do the instructions for these. So this needs to go. And I don't remember which ones, honestly, that I already have instructions for, but I don't think it's many. I think I've got like the scrapper, and the strider, and maybe the charger. But once you get the strider, the charger, and the broadhead are kind of the same thing. So let's look at maybe the lance horn, because this will tell me how far I've got. This has no instructions on it whatsoever, and you can usually tell because there's no steps in here. And it looks like I may have started. So anyway, so I'll work on this for the next 25 minutes. It's really boring, but needs to be done. So in the chat, what Lego projects do you guys have going on? I know Johnny's got a home and garden show. Is that still going on? That was this last weekend, but is it this coming weekend too? Or is it done? Yeah, no bricks there. So I think I got some way through this. And now I know these have all been built. So whatever I did, as long as I didn't change it in the physical, build. And I might have to go back and pull them over and say, okay, did I make any changes? Nice. That's a nice long event, man. Trying to get more of those going. I got an okay for, and now that we're doing design work, turning these off. These are so bright. Oh. Don't need those now. Hurts my brain. We got an okay to do Bricks and Brews at Austin Beer Works in September, so that's a high point. So this is one of those sets that has a rope in it that kind of wraps around. So that's going to be, I don't know how I'm going to do that. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do the body first and then attach the head last? So let's continue to work on the body. As my old boxing instructor once said, let's keep working on the body. All right, so underside's all done. Let's do that plate next. This is the unglorious side of Lego, is instruction making. And if you've ever run into an instruction that was wrong, have what is it? Have some pity. I know that phrase isn't right. Have a care, something like that, for the poor designer who has to go back and, because I guarantee you it's not the actual designer that does this. It's the it's a different person coming back to do all the instructions after the fact. Nope. Don't want that one at all. Brick rodeo stuff. Cool. I haven't registered my mock yet, but I'm debating on whether I want to do microfighters or not. I think I can get my steampunk thing there in relatively few boxes. And the microfighters will take at least 2 boxes of stuff to get there. Because there's the crate that has them all in. And then there's a box that has these little plastic cassette holders that I use as display stands, and then I cover them with a tablecloth. And then there's another box that has like the sign that goes behind it. And I could probably combine some of that. So that's 3 and I'm trying to think of my little car making it out to Houston. If I've got enough room for that and luggage. And anything else that last minute we need to bring out there. But luckily, I'm not doing much of anything in terms of like setup. So that's good. Like no one's approached me to help out with anything. I haven't been on a volunteer call. Like Houston kind of does their own thing. They're pretty good at keeping it all within the group. That doesn't mean there haven't been meetings, but I haven't been asked to join them. This needs to be part of that other step. And usually, like by now, someone's like, "Hey, could you do this?" Haven't even got a plan for my next build. Well, are you in a transition period with your Lego space? Like, are you doing a lot of sorting? Are you reorganizing where you build? Are you out of space? Are you moving? I know like Cliff is moving and he's been not moaning about, because that's an incorrect phrase, but he's been bemoaning the fact that he can't build anything. He's like, I see all my friends doing all this Lego stuff and I can't do anything. The mechanics of indoor. So is this going to be, are you going to basically be doing what you did with Hoth, but you're going to do with Endor? So it's going to be another big display thing, but instead of snowy areas, you're going to have lots of trees and Ewoks and Scoutwalkers and the like. Here's another 1x2. You guys have not run into this yet. This is hilarious. There's nothing wrong with this 1x2. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But at some point, a software update happened, and all the 1x2s, even though they're right, whatever exists before X update is trash. It doesn't exist. And it won't show up in BrickLink. It will throw an error if you try to upload it. It's just the worst. So you got to go through all your models and find them and replace them. So that's fun. I think I could do more than that on that side. Nope, there's nothing in there. Do 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 do. I think I'm gonna do this as one thing along here. I'm not gonna worry about that yet. Do this as one thing. Sure, I have a new step. I don't. Oh, don't worry about it, Mayo. Go be with your friends. I feel like a dad. Go play with your friends. Battle for Endor, the ATST hit by the logs, the one that falls down, speeder bikes getting stuck spinning. Very cool. You can have motors on some of them spinning, like in place spinning. Have one that's like caught on a thing spinning around a tree. Are the logs going to be at the smush point? Because I mean, like, I'm imagining that it's already smushed. Like the logs are already there, smushed. And then the one falling is like leaning funny. And it's got one leg sticking up. You got to have a speeder bike that's been clotheslined. So I have a guy falling backwards and his bike is still going. That's really cool. Sorting party, that's rad. Running out of space and still need to sort. Yeah, that's a problem. It's like there's a myth of which Mythbusters has solved where you can haul twice as much, you can haul twice your weight, twice your carrying capacity. As long as you are hauling birds and you can keep half of them in the air at any one time. They proved that is false because in order to be in the air, they have to counteract their weight against gravity with thrust, which is a force downward, which is basically creating the same amount of weight. So 20 birds sitting still in a container is the same weight in that container as 20 birds aloft, because of the thrust they're putting out to stay aloft. But it's a fun kind of mental physics experiment. I say that because I feel like as long as you're building with stuff that needs to be sorted, as long as it's this continual rotation of I've got this set, but as long as this set doesn't occupy space that needs to be sorted, I'm okay. And then I can take it apart to use it as pieces for stuff that I'm going to build, as long as that rotation keeps going through. And I've pulled parts when I was doing the Horizon machines. I was pulling parts off of some of my Star Wars display sets. I'm like, you're never going to need this again. Who cares if you're missing a 1x4 tile? I'm never going to box you up and sell you. And if I do, I'm going to take you all apart and notice that piece is missing. And I'll go get that part. And, it's too big. You need a warehouse. Ugh. So do you have a bunch of things on display or a bunch of like sets in boxes? I think I'm gonna do that. Like, are you stepping over stuff to get where you need to be? Would it all? Oh man, that didn't set well. Shoot. So these guys will need to go on later. Even later than that. Like I can only imagine. I've only seen a few videos of people and their homes and their setups, and for most cases it looks like they're building and they're building in a very small room, like it's not even a bedroom. Like it's whatever a very small bedroom is. And they have 30 years worth of Lego. And it's like, oh yeah, you do need another room or a warehouse or something. I feel very fortunate that I've got this giant open space living or dining room that I'm able to like cram a lot of stuff into. And I'm also able to, my wife doesn't care that I've used some of the areas in the house to display sets. The TV room got a bunch of nerdy stuff in it, nerdy posters, signed autographs of things, and a bunch of like pop culture, video game, movie related Lego. And then all the Star Wars stuff is over here. But then I have an area to build, and I've got a pretty good storage area. My issue is that I'm running low on storage room in certain drawers. Like some drawers are kind of overflowing. And I need to have I need to have 3 drawers overflowing at once that are all about the same size, so I can get one new shelf piece and move all those into that. And then I can start transferring other things into that. It's a lifelong process, There's always something to work on. Hashima Towers. That's interesting. Can we look that up? I'm always interested in looking up new storage. Is it a storage thing? Or is it a... Am I not... Is it a mock somebody made? Oh, you said the new Hashimoto Towers are the way to go, and I thought we were talking about storage, and I was like, ooh, cool. They were at Bricktastic. This one? God, that's amazing. I can't even wrap my head around that. Like, one of these towers would take all of the knowledge I have to make properly, and then I'd have to learn how to do the lighting and a lot of the motorized stuff. But learning little by little, and now I have a motor, I can do other things like that. Second row, fourth pick is the best tower. Second row, fourth pick. That one? That's the second row. Or this one. This one? That one? Nice. Those are useful. That's very cool. I'm stuck with just Sterilite drawers. Sterilite. With just man, they don't even have those. Like these. Just those. These work fine. I need some bigger ones because I found some bigger ones on a garage sale or a buy nothing group, and they were on the street, and I went and picked them up. The problem is they've been used already, and so they're leaning a little bit because the bases are a little cracked, and I'm just worried that at some point they're gonna, and then Lego goes everywhere. So I need to get those replaced. I have a whole huge hutch that are all Arco bins and Ziploc bags. So I need to replace those. And then I've got like medical storage drawers that need to be like another lifelong project. Just all lifelong projects. Storage is just part of the thing. This is just unreal. I can't even handle it. Second row, fourth cube is the basic tower. Second row. Oh, I see. Yes. So this is what they build everything in. And then they just stack it. So as long as it fits within this. Gotcha. Whatever that is cool. This is very cool looking. I like that a lot. And I think they've probably added some different things onto it by the looks of it. Like they have a basic cube, but then they've got, and this would be a great, like, I'm sure this started out maybe as a project support project, but this doesn't have, this doesn't feel like it's a whole lug that did this and is being taken to a bunch of different shows. Like our Mars base could have gone to different shows, but I don't think anyone wanted to take that responsibility. So, don't need that anymore. Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking of going and checking out what Dollar Tree has, see what they've got. Just because, you always kind of just need something. Oh, what happened? I'm going to put these in that same category, same step. So yeah, I want to try to get more of these done. Get some more microfighters done, post them on Rebrickable. I have to make sure to watermark all my pages so they don't get stolen, because they will. I'd be interested to see if they bring one. I haven't heard if they're bringing any to Brick Rodeo. Brick Rodeo is not like, I mean, it's only been Brick Rodeo for, well, this would be 5th year, 6th year now. So it's been out for a while. So I would assume it's in people's rotations. The problem is it bounces from Houston to Austin, but that's still not bad. I mean, you can go to Austin one year, but the fact that it's not, you know, it's not Brick World Chicago, it's not Bricks by the Bay, it's not Bricks Cascade, or it's not any of the kind of the big names. And now even like Brick Slopes is kind of has taken off, both Salt Lake and Denver. So it's kind of like, that's kind of a bummer. Is there anybody under this? No. So let's throw these guys. And these guys. Let's just throw those two up there. London Bridge Bricks insinuated he's coming to Brickvention in 2027. Might go back then. Cool. Made small boxes or bead boxes from different stores for my Lego sorting. Oh, I get small boxes. Yeah. Bead boxes work really well. They've got dividers for smaller pieces. And I cannot stress enough, you need to get stuff that closes. I've got maybe 12 drawers or so that don't. And there's dust and dust bunnies. They're about that high up, and they're like graded, but they have plastic bins in them. But man, you got to get stuff that's covered. So did that. So let's do these two. They have anything in them? Nope. Let's do this as a group. Then we'll do this as a group. And then we'll do one of these here. I might be able to get away with doing two of those on screen at once. So let's put them both up here. We'll do them as call outs and see if that's too much. As well as the normal watermark, zoom in to pixel level and make a hidden watermark real small. It's a good idea. If any of this stuff falls, it's all over. Like I will cry. Beth, every time I show Beth a new thing, I'm like, hey, let me show you the thing that I've been working on. She's like, what if I just went like this? And I'm like, I'd rebuild it, but you have to pick it all up. She's like, nah, that's a lot of work. You are an evil, evil person. So I'm going to do the same thing with this group. And this is going to be its own. Although these are the exact same. There's no difference. Okay, so here's the trick. Do this. Put it up here. And then get rid of this one. And then this one. Oh, I thought I did a new step. I guess I didn't. So then this one in here, you copy and then just hit paste. And now when you go to do your instructions, you can do this ×2. And it'll do the instructions for one page, and then it'll say ×2, and then any change you make on one of them will change both of them. So that's a little trick. So yeah, lunchtime for you, nighttime for me. It's after 10. I have to go medicate a cat. So wish me all the best. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you coming by. Sunday, I know I said I've got some sets to build. I'll put a poll up again on the community tab. More design work, mock building, or set building. So you guys let me know what you'd like to see. And take care. Have a good weekend. I hope you have some fun. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.